Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making orange rolls.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Welcome back and welcome if you're new. And you heard me right, we are making orange rolls. I've got some flours I needed to use up, and there is nothing better than a little bit of citrus in the middle of winter when it's so cold as it is right now. So we're gonna need a cup of milk, and I've warmed this in the microwave. It's about 110 degrees. It's just nice and warm. So get that in your mixer. And if you have a stand mixer, something with a dough hook, that's super helpful. Then I have 1/3 cup of soft butter. Get that in there. And then for our sweetener today, we are using just plain old sugar, and we're gonna need 1/2 cup of sugar. All right, so now that we got our warm milk and our sugar in there, we're gonna put our yeast in. I am using instant yeast or rapid rise yeast, and you need 4.5 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's almost use up this whole little jar. Got just a tiny bit left in there. All right, so I'm gonna give this a whirl. I need my lid, hang on.
That's funny.
All right, now we have my lid. So you also want, I had some oranges left over from Christmas that need eaten up, and you need about 3 oranges that we're gonna zest. So I've got those all washed and ready to go. So our yeast is in here dissolving. Since it is instant, we can just keep adding all of our ingredients. We got 1 egg that needs to go in. So we're gonna plop that in. And then we need 4.5 cups of flour. And I've got some bread flour I had left over, and I've got just this bag that needed left over. If you're using fresh milled wheat, you totally can use that. I would recommend using soft white. So there's 1. I'm gonna turn this on. 2. About 1/2 cup or more-ish. It's super dry here. Okay, that looks really okay. We're gonna add some salt to this as well, and we need a whole teaspoon of salt. And I don't know if I need my last 1/2 cup. It is so cold and dry here that because it's already pulling away, I'm not gonna add it. I might add it a couple more tablespoons. So we're gonna turn this on, just leave it like this. I've just got it on a 1 speed on my Bosch mixer. I'm gonna let it go for 5 minutes. But as you can see in here, it's already pulled away from the sides. It's kneading nicely. I'm not even gonna add another 1/2 cup. But if you live in a humid, warmer climate, and it is humid or it's like pouring rain, you might need the 1/2 cup. You might need a 1/2 cup in addition to that. So we're just gonna hang out and let this go for 5 minutes. All right, so our bread is kneading, and during that time, I'm gonna take the opportunity to get all my oranges zested. So I've washed these oranges, and we're just gonna zest them. You need about 3 oranges worth, or a good solid couple tablespoons of zest. And then hang on to the oranges, because we're gonna put some of the orange juice into the frosting when we ice them. Oh, this smells good.
Oh my gosh, that smells fantastic.
My arm's getting tired.
Yeah, that's a lot of zesting.
Okay, my timer went off. I'm gonna let it hang out for just a couple minutes and let the dough rest as I finish up this orange. Oh my gosh. If you need an arm workout, this is it.
Become a professional zester. You'll have buff arms.
Yeah, you will. Okay, I am gonna call that good. So I'm gonna just set all of this aside because we're gonna need the orange juice, and I'm gonna put a little more zest in the frosting or the icing when they come out of the oven. But for that, we're gonna stick that in the middle. All right, and to finish this off, we need between 3/4 and 1 cup of white sugar we're gonna put in here. If you want them sweeter, that's kind of ballparkish, so 3/4 to 1 cup of white sugar we're gonna put in here. All right, and then I'm just gonna mix this up and get it worked into the sugar, and then that can sit here.
Oh, and flavor. Yum.
Yeah. Oh my. All right, we're gonna set that aside too. Okay, I'm gonna unlock this. I'm gonna move the base of my Bosch mixer. All right, so get yourself a greased 9x13. I'm just using metal today. You're gonna need yourself a rolling pin. And instead of putting flour down, like a lot of people do, I use a tiny bit of oil. That way your dough doesn't dry out more because you're incorporating more flour into your dough. So I'm just gonna rub it on my counter that's nice and clean. Then I'm gonna take my my oily hand, just wipe it right off your dough hook. This is some nice dough.
All of it smells
so good.
Fantastic.
Yep, anytime you're adding an egg and some milk to your bread dough, it's just gonna be a little, it's so delicious. All right, let me get rid of this. Just makes for a really nice, rich dough. All right. So we're just gonna roll this out into a nice rectangle. Just have a little patience with it because you've got your gluten going and it's very elasticy. It wants to jump back. I'm trying to think how big you should make this.
As long as your rolling pin, it looks like about.
I don't know, gosh, 12x18, maybe? Well, here, let me grab a measure stick and then we'll know. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do want it 12 inches. Let's go this way. 18 inches long. So that's about 12 by 12.
12 by 14, it's something.
It's something like that. I think that looks good though, eh?
Hey, whatever it looks like, I'm still gonna eat it.
Pretty much. All right, so I've got 1/3 cup of butter here. I need to put it in the microwave and get it thawed, melted, softened.
Way softened.
I'm gonna just pour it over. You may or may not use all of it, depending. So on one of the long ends, you don't want to go all the way out to the end because that's where we're going to seal our dough. So go all the way out to the end lengthwise, but not widthwise.
So 3 sides, but not the long
3
fourth
sides,
side.
that's right.
Gotcha.
3 of the 4 sides. That's the best way to put it. Everything's better with butter.
Denny says, Mom.
I know, you
what
love
are
bread
doing?"
and butter.
I keep seeing his nose peeking over.
I know. Do you smell the butter?
Oh, he do.
He does. You go to your spot and sit down. I know I didn't use it all, but I feel like that is so much.
I'm not going to say no to more butter. Ever.
Well, I just, it seeps out so bad.
Oh, that's true.
All right, then we're just going to take this and sprinkle it all over. My goodness, this smells so good. You know what? I always just use my hands. Then I can feel what's going on. Oh, they smell so good.
They sure do.
Okay, and I'm just going to pat it down just a tiny bit. Now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to roll it. Get your typewriter fingers ready, and you just want to, the tiniest bit you want to just tug it and roll it so they're nice and tight, but you don't want them too tight, or what I call the belly button in the middle of the cinnamon roll, which is my favorite part, pokes up. All right, so I'm just gonna roll it this way and grab it. And on these ends, I try to like, that ripped a little minute. It's always fatter in the middle, so I kind of stretch it. So it's kind of the same thickness all the way. There we go. So we got your nice log. I'm going to cut it in half with a very sharp knife. If you want to use dental floss or some kind of string, that works well. Cut it in quarters. Then each quarter will have 3 rolls out of it. Just makes it a little easier to math. And if they get a little wonky, when they rise, they're going to pop back. Oh, these smell so good. All right. So I have my greased 9x13. And I try not to put the ends at the same place. These are gonna about get a little poofy. I've got my oven light on. It is, ooh, it's up to 8 degrees today. So it's, you know, a little warmer than it has been, but it's still super cold. So I'm gonna actually raise these in my oven with my oven light on only to get them ready to bake. Because if I just left them on my counter today, it would take hours to rise. And I really want to get these done with like in an hour. So
when you put them in the oven with the light on, roughly how hot does it get in there?
So when I have my oven light on, it gets about 90 degrees in there. And I only have one oven light. One of my ovens has one oven light. One of my oven has 2. So I put it in the one with 1 and it gets to about 90 degrees, which seems to be about good. All right, so I've got my oven light on. We've got our 12 cinnamon rolls. If you want cinnamon, put a cinnamon in them. Orange rolls in there. I'm gonna put them in there for about 20 minutes. We're gonna peek at them. You just want them puffed. They're not gonna exactly double in size, but you do want them touching. But these are looking beautiful. So let's get them to proof and rise here. Just gonna tuck them in here. Gonna go in for their spa treatment and we'll be back in about 25 minutes. All right, so it's been longer than 20 minutes just because it's a whopping 6 degrees here today. So it did take longer, but this is what they look like when they're poofed and ready to go in the oven. I've preheated my top oven to 350 degrees. I'm just gonna slide them in and they're gonna bake for 20 minutes. Cool beans. So one thing you want to do when your orange rolls are baking is get your frosting ready. So I zested, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of just what was ever left on those oranges. I'm gonna want that in there. And then I'm gonna say, this is just a bunch of powdered sugar. Woo. Now, if you want cream cheese frosting, go for it. You just wanna put a few ounces of cream cheese in your frosting with the butter. I'm gonna say that's probably good. I only have a dozen. And of the 1/3 cup of butter that you used, I had a little left, so we're just gonna pour that in. That is also softened. And Denver heard butter and he is right here. Then I just take my hand mixer. I'm gonna beat this together. Woo. Get that done. I'm gonna add some salt and a splash of vanilla. And then I have my juicer here, and with the oranges, I'm just gonna slice them. We're gonna use some of the orange juice and put it in there.
Ooh, that looks good.
So pretty. Look at that beautiful orange color. It smells amazing. And I can tell that I do not have enough frosting, so I'm gonna add some more. Because I usually have my measure cup. Probably want closer to 2 cups, and I don't even think I was close to that. Add a little more juice. That looks better. And you can make this as thick or thin as you want. I like kind of whatever you would frost a cake with is the consistency I like. If you want a thinner one that you can just drizzle on, just add more orange juice. All right, so that is ready because we are gonna frost those orange rolls hot. So we've got that ready. got a cooling rack out. We've got about 13 minutes left. And I will be back when those orange rolls are out of the oven, and I'll show you how beautiful they are. You guys, if you could smell this right now, look how beautiful these are. They smell amazing, perfectly golden brown.
Delicious.
Whoa. See, we're gonna leave that to leave the heat in the house. Oh my goodness. Yum, they're so perfect. All right, so a lot of people wait maybe till they cool. I don't. I like to frost them when they're hot. Then all that frosting soaks into all the little crevices.
What do you smell, Danny? Mama got something good.
All the things. Now, I do want to mention that if you want to make these the night before, you can, and then just put your your cinnamon rolls in the fridge, but you're going to have to bring them to room temperature and let them rise in the morning if you want to bake them off hot. But that is possible. I'm fine with cooking them the night before and then just microwave them about 17 seconds. Then you have a hot roll again. Then I go back and see who else needs more frosting. Actually, that looks pretty good. Look at how amazing these are. I'm gonna wait just a couple more minutes and we're gonna cut into these because there is no better time than to eat them is right now. It's probably one of the only bread products you have to eat right out of the oven because there's nothing else like it. So permission granted to get yourself a coffee or a big old glass of milk and eat one of these. So, okay, so we're gonna cut into this. Let's do this nice one here. They are so hot and so delicious. They are gonna melt in your mouth. You're not even gonna need teeth to eat these. Oh my gosh. Yum. I'm just gonna show you. Look at this. Oh, look how fluffy and delicious and beautiful they are. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna wait just a second because my whole family is gonna grab one. Then we're gonna sit down and eat them because I will burn my mouth on these. But I just wanna say thank you so much for joining me today as I showed you how to make orange rolls. I sure hope you try these, especially in the middle of January when it is super cold and there's nothing better than a citrusy, yummy orange roll. You guys have a great night and I'll see you on the next video.
Try not to kick that.
Don't kick anything. Does it look like a mess?
No, it looks like you're getting ready to make something.
Okay, good.
Because you are. You're getting ready to make it.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, yumma. I always want to sing the Zest commercial, but it's wrong. It's not so zestfully clean, but it's orange zest. Action.
Front camera, orange rolls, part 3. Okay.
Gonna taste good, I know.